I want to talk about this concept of forcing growth. This is something that I've briefly covered in some of my older videos. When you give yourself no opportunity but to win. I don't think many people truly understand what that means. Where you burn your bridges. You burn your boats. There is no going back. This has to work. When you give yourself several backup plans, then you're not fully sold on the main idea, the main vision. Then you're already thinking of ways to get out of it, to quit. Well, worst comes to worst, I can always do. You're not fully sold on what it is that you're doing. If you look at the most successful people in the world, just watch what they do. They're obsessed with this one vision. And they go all in on that vision. They don't say, well, I'm going to build this and that, and, worst comes to worst, I'm going to... When they make it, when they become really successful, they usually invest some of their wealth into other businesses, but then they hire CEOs for those businesses, and it's pretty much a hands-off approach. But when they were building, they were locked in. They were so obsessed with realizing this dream of theirs. Elon Musk used to sleep in the office, as an example. His whole vision was, I need to make this work. This has to. I saw an interview once where they asked him about SpaceX and the failed missions. And the interviewer asked him, at any point, did you ever think of quitting? And he said, never. I never quit. And it's that mentality of, I'm going to make this work. You need to. You need to make this work. Get rid of plan B, plan C. Force the success to take place. How do you do that? With a determined mind, with sheer work over a consistent time frame. Force this growth. When I look back at my younger self in my early 20s, I wanted to win. I wanted it. It was a nice idea in my mind. Yeah, if I win, I could do this, I could do that. But I wasn't all in on making that one vision become a reality. I was scattered. I was all over the place. And every year was pretty much the same. Nothing really changed. And it was only when I realized that, you know what, Ali, if you keep carrying on this way, you're going to keep getting the same fucking results, man. You have to get fed up. And you have to make the decision to go all in. I wanted to respect myself. I wanted to say I did everything I could. How many of you could say that? You did everything in your power to make that dream a reality. You worked so hard. You were productive in your work. You reached out to people who are successful in your line of work. You exhausted all options. How many of you could say that? And this is a conversation I still have with with myself today. Ali, have you exhausted all options? I'm very conscious of the fact that I don't want what I'm doing to become a hobby. I'm very afraid of things becoming a hobby. As much as it's important to love what you do, whatever, you need to treat what it is that you're doing as a business. This business has to succeed. I cannot be casual. Hobbies don't make you $1 million. It's only when you make that decision to approach it like a business that you do very well. Now, if you're naturally gifted as a football player or a singer, different story. Before someone says, well, Ali, some people have made it in singing and it was a hobby. I get it. But I'm talking for the average Joe Schmo who, he likes making, I don't know, car videos from time to time, those videos will not transform your life until you approach what it is that you're doing with the mentality of a ruthless CEO. This business has to grow. This can't just be something that I do occasionally from time to time whenever I feel like it. I mean, if you want it to be a hobby and you want it to stay a hobby and you're not keen on making money out of that thing, well then fine. But whatever vision it is that you have, I'm sure you want what it is that you're doing to become really fruitful for you, financially speaking. Well, then you've got to change the way you approach it. If you're fed up of the results you're seeing, well, you've got to throw a spanner in the works, man. Do something different. Otherwise, you will continue to experience the same outcomes. Nothing changes if nothing changes. Come on, man. I know what it's like to live the same year again and again and again. Man, at one point I was losing hope, and I just thought, maybe this is just who I am. Maybe I'm the kind of person that dips his toes in a few different things and never really succeeds at anything. I was very, very, pessimistic. And I thought that would continue for me. But then at the back of my mind, there was another voice that said, no, Ali, approach this properly this time round. Don't fuck around and just see what happens. And it's when I made the decision to not fuck around and go all in on something that I started seeing success after success after success. When I got rid of the casual part-time Ali and I became full-time. And full-time doesn't mean 9 to 5. It means 24/7. Every day, I'm going to make this dream a reality. And I will do everything in my power. If you cannot say that about yourself right now, if you cannot say that you're doing everything in your power, then you need to sit down with yourself and have an honest conversation and change things. Otherwise, sure enough, nothing will change. Force growth. This is the year to force growth. Enough is enough. Stop messing about. If you want to learn how to trade, invest in a damn course and start learning how to trade. Put your money on the line. You got to have skin in the game. Some of you guys, you want to experience the fruits of doing something, but you don't want to have to put anything down in order to experience that. I mean, that is just childish. It's that entitled mentality. I deserve the results, but I don't really want to put any of my money in. How do you think you're going to succeed? And people that talk about, oh, it's too expensive, are the same people that would spend £600-700 on a PlayStation with some games. And these are the very same people that will complain about being behind in life and how somebody else is lucky. Look at where your money's going, man. Are you investing it in you? Or are you just spending it like a consumer on entertainment and distracting yourself from the realities of life? I'm not against gaming. Gaming is fun. I enjoy gaming. In fact, I'm looking to buy a PS5 soon. But I'm not sitting there using it as an escape from the crap life that I have. No. You want your life to be exceptional, that when you jump on the PlayStation occasionally, it's a treat. And you almost like, you're playing the PlayStation and you just, at the back of your mind, you're thinking about how exciting tomorrow is going to be because you've got X, Y, and Z to do and you're excited. That is possible. You can live a life that you look forward to the next day. Because one day, it will be your last day. And just imagine being on your deathbed and just thinking about the way you lived your life and how disappointing it was that you didn't go out there and even attempt to find out what could have been. I could have lived an exceptional life. I could have done this. I could have done that. It's not the end goal. It's the pursuit of the goal that makes life worthwhile. It's the hunt. A lion enjoys the hunt. When you take that away from him and you just feed him, it's different. It's not the same. You've taken away something that's so important for the lion. The chase. The person that you become in the process is far more important than what you achieve at the end of it. Earl Nightingale, I always mention this quote. He defines success as the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. If it's something that's meaningful to you and you're progressing at it over time, that's what makes life exciting. It's not about having a Lamborghini Aventador, as nice as that is. It's what you're doing in the process. When I see men who are just sick of life and they just look numb and sedated, I just feel sorry for them, because it doesn't have to be this way. It's not about having $1 million. If these men were pursuing something that brought them joy and they were making $60,000 a year, they'll be incredibly happy. But instead, they feel stuck. You are not a tree, you can move. If you're in a job that you fucking hate, leave. How? Well, keep the job that you got right now and start looking. Before someone says, well, Ali, you can't just leave. You know, there's always one guy that says things like that. Well, you can't just quit. Start looking for other jobs, and then, yeah, you can quit. You can just say, see you later, I'm out. I'm not going to live my life dreading the drive to work. Being with your family in the evening, dreading the next day. What kind of a life is that? Make a decision that you will no longer live this way. Force growth. No more messing about. No more messing about. See you in the next video.